Hello everyone. Today we shall look into a problem where we shall have these two tables, customer data table and sales data table. Okay, there are few rows each where we can try to include them and create a data frame and answer some questions. So here we have certain data. I hope it is visible and we can try to join those by writing our Pyspark code. So here we'll try to start from scratch where we'll bring some Pyspark. Okay, from Pyspark dot SQL, let us import Spark session. Okay, so once we import Spark session, we can try to import some functions which are necessary. So for that, what I'll write Pyspark dot SQL dot functions, and I'll import few functions like for example call function, sum function, average function, and some descending function which is useful for my analysis. Okay. So for after that, what I shall do is I shall I shall initiate the Spark session. I'll create that variable Spark and I can write Spark session dot builder dot app name and we can give some name. For example, joins is joins will be using it. So I'm just giving it as a joins name. I'll write dot get or create. Okay. So here we are going to create our Spark and we'll use this particular data to create our Spark data frame, right? For example, if we want to create our customers data, right? How do we create? Let us write customers underscore df is equal to spark dot create data frame, and here what I shall do, I'll write customers underscore data, comma, and we have the columns, along with that. For example, we have these columns, right, where I'm mentioning it in this particular customer underscore id comma customer. I'll give this particular name or you can mention this customer name. Okay, and we have one more column which is country, right? So we can call it as country. So here I'll try to write something called, in order to show this particular data frame, I can simply write customers underscore df dot show. So what it does, it will try to show that particular customers table, right? So this is our customers underscore df data frame where we have inserted these five rows which are present over in here, right? And similarly, what we shall do, I'll try to create that sales data as well. So what I'll do, I'll write sales underscore df is equal to spark dot create data frame, right? I'll give the sales data, sales underscore data. I need to mention these columns names actually. Okay, so initially we have that ID. Okay, so here I'll give that column names. You can define the column name separately also, but it is also fine to include it here. So for example, for sales data, what do we have? We can have order ID, right? We have customer ID respectively, and we have some product name, and I have an amount column. So once we have written this particular columns, what I shall do, I shall execute this particular sales underscore df dot show. Okay, so here we have this particular customers data, right? And this is our sales data which we have purchased by those respective customer IDs, right? So here we have certain questions. First question is join customer table and sales table. So in order to create, right, new table, I'll write new joined table is equal to, in order to do the join, what we can do, we can write customers underscore df dot, we'll use this particular thing called join, open the parenthesis, and we'll try to join the sales underscore df, comma, on what basis? You can simply give that customer id column name, right? For example, you can write simply customer id. So here you can try to see, check the names, right? You can try to simply show that particular new join table dot show. So here we can see this. This is your customer table details, and further you have this particular sales data table details which are added to this respective data, right? So here we are able to join these two tables using simple join. By default, it will be able to do that inner join. Okay, so let us see the next question. We need to find out what is the total amount spent by each customer. So in order to understand how much amount spent by each customer, we have to group by based upon each customer ID. So I'll create this particular variable total amount spent is equal to, I'll write this particular joined df which we have created, right? Okay, so it is new table joined, new joined table which is our data frame dot, I'll use group by what, we have to use customer id, right? So I can simply mention customer id. Based upon customer id we are trying to group by, comma. Okay, so here we need to mention few things, and also like based upon customer name also we can try to group by. Okay, so here what I'll do, I'll take the customer name also. We can, do we have the customer name? Yes, we have. So we can take the customer name as well. So here I'll take this customer name column. Based upon these two columns we are trying to group by, right? So in order to do the aggregation, I shall write dot agg aggregation. In this aggregation I want to do the sum, right? Sum of amount column. I'll in double quotes I'll write this amount column, right? And for this particular amount column I need to rename it, because I would not be able to see the same sum of amount column name in this within aggregation itself. You can simply write dot alias. You can mention that total amount spent. Okay, like this you'll be able to give that particular alias's name. So group by customer id and customer name, you can aggregate that sum of amount, you can do it, and you can give some name called as total amount spent. Okay, so you are closing the parenthesis here, and here if you want to show that particular data frame you can simply write total amount spent dot show. Okay, if you execute, you see this, we are able to get this customer id. There are four customers and their respective total amount spent. Okay, so here you can check the data within that particular sales table also. We have the respective four table data. Of course, there is fifth customer also, but there is no relevant fifth customer ID data here. So that is the reason why it is showing us only four customers and their respective aggregated data. Right? I hope it is understandable. So check, you can try to do this. Like here you can see it is 1200, and here you can see it is 300, and here you can see it is 1100, right? So it is 2600 and for the first customer. So here you can see that for first customer it is 2600. So like this you'll be able to do this aggregation in a better way, right? So we have to find highest spending customer in our third question. So in order to find that, we need to order by from highest to lowest based upon the total amount spent. So what I shall do, I shall take this particular total amount spent data frame, right? This particular data frame, and I can use it here. For example, I'll write highest spender is equal to, I can take this particular total amount spent data frame. I can simply write order by, right? In this, I need to mention that particular total spent amount in a descending order, right? So what I can do, in I can use this particular descending function, and I can write that particular total amount spent column which is present in the previous data frame, right? This is my descending order. If you simply show that particular highest spender data frame now, right, you'll be able to see that data will be ordered. Okay, so here you can see that it is properly ordered, right, in descending order. Now we want highest that particular customer, right? So we can simply write at the end dot we'll write limit of 1. Limit of 1 means we'll get the top spender, we'll get only the John details. You can see here, we are able to get the John details by just mentioning this particular limit over here. Okay, so I hope it is understandable. This is our fourth question. So let us try to answer this. We have to get the average order value by country. So for example, average underscore country is equal to, let us take this particular highest spender. Okay, for this we have to do it country wise, right? So let us take this new join table. Okay, this data frame itself, which is our new join table. I'll take the data frame. I'll write dot. We have to group by country. I'll write group by, and you can mention this country column. Country dot. We have to aggregate, right? In aggregate, we need to find average. So I'll use this avg function, and I'll write amount column so that you can try to aggregate based upon amount. In order to give some different name, I can write simply dot alias, and you can write simply average underscore order value like this, right? So what does this do? It will fetch you that average value by the country. I'll write avg underscore country dot show. If you execute, you'll be able to see this particular details, right? So this is the output based upon the respective question. And further, you can try to validate, and this is how you can try to do some respective joins and aggregate some data. This is all for today, and we shall meet in the next session. Thank you everyone.